Hi, I'm Girly. I'm a singer-songwriter and an artist from London, England, and I am in Los Angeles, California to find the answer to the question, why are people so obsessed with LA? LA has always fascinated me because it's a place where people come to make it. People who want to be famous, people who want to make it big, whatever that means, come to LA. Musicians, actors, artists, songwriters. And I guess in a way, that's the reason I've been coming to LA all these years. In this episode, I'm going to be exploring why people are obsessed with LA, why people keep coming back to this place, and I'm going to try and find the answer to the question, why are people so obsessed with LA?
Hey, it's Girly here. I have an obsessive personality and I'm on a mission around the world to learn more about myself by exploring what other people's obsessions are, what it is about them that makes them obsessed, keeps them coming back for more, teaches them about themselves, and what all the fuss is about that makes people stay obsessed with people, places, feelings, art, music, food, clothes, skating, life. This is my show I'm obsessed with.
To kick off my LA adventure, I decided to start by exploring Venice Beach. Venice was founded as an independent city in 1905, but merged with Los Angeles in 1926. It's famous all the world over for its hippie, surfing, skating, bohemian culture. I ventured down the boardwalk, found some crystals to raise my vibration, and grabbed an acai bowl, an import to LA from Brazil and a favourite amongst the city's health fanatics. It was so good. Venice is also the holy grail for skateboarders. Skaters flock here from all around the world to skate the famous Venice Beach Bowl and the boardwalk. There's also Muscle Beach, a hotspot for bodybuilders, and some very interesting shops selling some very questionable items. After exploring a bit on my own, I wanted to find out more about the locals here at Venice Beach, and that's when I met Rod.
Rod, R-O-D, Rozelle, R-O-Z-Z-E-L-L-E.
What a name. And are you from Los Angeles originally?
Originally from Las Vegas, Nevada.
What brought you to LA? Do you live here now?
Music. Music. Pursue a professional career in music.
I feel like a lot of creatives, a lot of artists, musicians find themselves in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well,
what is it about this place that you think brings people?
I think the opportunity. There's a lot of different opportunities. It's very multifaceted. You know, you can do just about any kind of music you want here. There are no better musicians in the world than here.
Do you like it here, or do you?
No, I like it here.
You like it here?
Yeah.
So I know people who come here for the opportunities, but they don't necessarily like it.
Yeah, no, I like it here.
What's your favorite thing about LA?
The beach. Yeah, the beach. You can't beat the weather.
Thank you so much, Rod.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
It was wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, same here.
Speaking to Rod confirmed something I already knew about LA, that people of all ages and from all around the world come here to pursue their dreams, chase the sunshine, and be amongst other dream chasers. Much like Tara, a Soul Train dancer who I met a few minutes later down the boardwalk when she complimented my hair and we got chatting.
Yeah, I'm an artist too. I'm a dancer. I'm from Soul Train also, from 1983 to 1989. Doing the hip hop and the rap area, you know, hippity hop. That's me.
What was your name? I haven't asked.
Tara Smith from 1983, and I grew up here from 1967 from Dayton, Ohio. My parents and family had a caravan, you know, coming here. It was a lot of fun, and the first place we came to was Venice Beach, and we spent the night on the sand. Actually, somebody stayed awake because they didn't trust the area, just going to sleep right out here on the bare sand. Venice Beach is wonderful. I grew up here and it's changed a lot. My dad, actually, Alvin Bino Smith, was one of the pioneers from Griffith Park, the first location for the drum circles from 1967-68 in Griffith Park. And he still goes down there and sees his buddies, and everybody's, you know, aged and still doing the same thing. Yeah, Venice is some good stories. The good old days when the dance floor, Roger Troutman and Zapp, you know, music on the boom boxes, you know. It's gotten a lot tamer. It used to be like a big playground for adults. But through this pandemic, people are getting out here, you know. Restaurants are high as hell, the prices. Doesn't leave too much room for the vendors to make money, but you know, it's all good. Things change.
What do you think makes LA such a place where entertainers want to be?
It's a melting pot. It's a melting pot of all different nationalities and everything. a melted pot.
Thank you so much for talking to us. You're amazing. After speaking to Tara, I felt like I'd learned a little bit more about the rich local history of Venice and how the locals feel about this special place. I decided to carry on walking around and found myself feeling impulsive. So we found a random tattoo parlor in Venice and I have decided to get a tattoo. I first came to LA because it had this allure to it of a place where I guess dreams come true in a cheesy way. Big producers and songwriters live out here and make music out here, and it's got this kind of vibe of if you go to LA, that means you're successful. That means that you've made it. My music publisher sent me out here. I was staying in this hotel in Koreatown. I was just so alone. It's such a big place. I feel like if you're feeling lonely or on your own, you feel it more in LA. I think people come here expecting to feel something, and a lot of the time it can feel quite empty here. The first couple times I came here I felt so alone, so lost, so scared. When I started making friends here and I came with a friend, I had the best time. I had someone else, a buddy, who wasn't from here, who understood why it's quite a weird place. And also because I'm a London girl, like I'm used to getting public transport, I'm used to walking around, skating around. You have to drive everywhere here, so you feel quite vulnerable if you're walking around.
How do you think obsession links to LA?
I think people are obsessed with being famous. I think people are obsessed with making it big. I think people are obsessed with the American dream and feeling important. I get obsessed with that too. And I think that's what keeps people coming back here. That's what keeps me coming back here. If you're in a vibe and you feel like, I'm in LA, I'm amazing, I'm the shit, I'm a pop star, and you're making music in that mindset, you can make some kind of amazing things. But I've also made amazing music here when I felt like shit. So I'm obsessed with feeling validated. If we're going there, I'm obsessed with making music, I'm obsessed with performing. I guess like chasing that feeling. I don't know what that feeling really is, it's just that feeling of being so in the flow of life that you're just so, everything is just, feels like fucking monumental. I think that's why I do what I do. Then if we're going less deep, I'm also obsessed with pesto pasta, landing tricks on my skateboard, because landing them feels good, and getting tattoos. Getting random tattoos for YouTube series. This is my dedication to this series, right here. I'm obsessed! The next day, we set out for a typical LA morning activity, hiking the Hollywood Hills. The Hollywood sign was built in 1923. I think it originally said Hollywood Land. And I feel like this thing of just pieces of board and metal represent this dream, this industry, this lifestyle. It was built when Hollywood was booming, the 1920s, the flicks. And now I feel like it still represents that to people. There's such an obsession with what this represents, the dream, the lifestyle, the aspiration. When I first came to LA, I was 16, and I have never been so excited to see like a hunk of metal before. It was such a wild feeling, like I've made it, but like I've made it where? I'm just standing on a hill with this sign. I think this sign represents a lot of what LA represents to people. And the obsession with this is, I think, for a lot of the same reasons people are obsessed with LA as a place. Oh my God, it is fucking hot. Why did I wear all black? Oh, the view's pretty though. Oh, there's so many. Maybe but my phone signal's shit here. There's so many phone thingy-mabobs. Wow, nice one, Millie.
I do see why people like doing this though. Look at that view, bitch. Wow. Hiking is taken very, very seriously in Los Angeles. And I can see why. It's fucking beautiful up here. It does feel really nice. Like, it always appealed to me, the idea of there just being these mountain ranges in a big city, and then the beach as well. Like, you can surf in LA, you can hike in LA, you can kind of do anything. It's multifaceted. I think going on a hike is one of my favorite things to do, actually, in LA. What can I say? I'm an LA girl.
I was bummed to have to cut my hike short, but I knew there was someone who lived nearby that I just had to speak to about LA. My hyper-pop star friend Alice Longyu-Gao moved to the US from China 10 years ago to launch her music career. She kindly let me into her home, which has a personality as bubbly as she does. I knew Alice had mixed opinions about LA, and I wanted to pick her brains about why.
Hey, I'm with ALG. We're at her house in Hollywood on the roof, which is iconic.
Hollywood is where it's at if you live in LA. I personally think, even though it's a pain in the ass because I don't know how to drive, I don't have a car, and I'm just like at home all the time.
First of all, how long have you been here?
Yeah, so I mean, right before COVID, for about like a year, I started going back and forth, just doing writing trips because I was living in New York back then. So I quarantined here. My lease in New York ended, and then I started having my little like friends group here in LA. So I was like, all right, might as well just move here.
Do you feel like you liked it when you arrived?
Oh yeah, 100%. My apartment in New York was really small, like I didn't have sunlight. And then I was talking to this psychic, so he was telling me that I want you to go to a space that is wide open. So to me back then, the answer was LA.
Whenever I've come here and I feel kind of lonely, it makes me feel more lonely.
Yeah, no, totally, I feel you. I started talking to a therapist recently, and it really helped me because I'm very paranoid. I just feel like I'm at such a dangerous place, especially I'm a foreigner here in America, especially LA. It's like so hard to commute, like it's hard to connect with people. You can't even like walk in LA. Even if it's like a 30 minutes walk in New York, I would just be like, all right, I'll just do it, you know?
I grew up in London. You can walk everywhere. You can just wander around. You don't really do that here.
Yeah, no, hell no. Mentally, I don't see myself living in LA. I'm not a LA girl.
What do you think people come to LA to find?
I think they think all the connections are here. The resource that can help them to make it is here. Back then, I was thinking, you know, all the best music people live in LA. Now, like, I just feel like my perspective changed. I made some of my recent best music outside LA.
Do you hate or love LA?
I don't like LA at the moment. I probably hate it, honestly, because a lot of people that I feel inspired by, they're not here. It's more about like those people that you look up to, that you feel inspired by, where are they?
What 3 words would you use to describe LA?
Ugly, dry, basic, and boring.
Wow. 4. There we go.
Yeah.
Savage. Tell me some things in LA that you're obsessed with.
My fish list.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to this girl, her name is Jackie, at this place called Skin Worship. She's so great, and I'm obsessed with her facials.
There we go. Shout out.
Yeah, Jackie. Yeah.
Facialist.
Yeah, that obsessed.
Obsessed. Thank you so much, Alice.
Thank you. I love you.
Cutest. I love you.
This was so cute.
Most of my time in LA was spent in the studio, writing lyrics, coming up with melodies, and recording vocals. I love making music here. There's so many creative people in this city, and as challenging as I find it sometimes to be here, I'm always inspired to write songs in LA. Coming back here can be quite nostalgic for me, as most of my first album was recorded here. It makes me think a lot about what I was like the first trips I took out, and how much I've grown and evolved since, not only as a person, but also as an artist. This trip, I've been writing a lot of songs that will be coming out on my next project. My sessions usually start at around 1 and go into the evening. Writing songs is super therapeutic for me. It's the way I express everything that's going on inside of my head, and it helps me to try and make sense of the world. It's tiresome work, and afterwards, I had to make a very important stop.
We're going to In-N-Out. This fucking thing. I'm obsessed with The LA traffic.
Fucking In-N-Out!
Do they have veggie burgers at In-N-Out?
Did you not check
It's fine, then I'll just get fries if not, you know what I mean? I don't think they do. But we had to go to In-N-Out though.
I did wonder when you were like, let's go to In-N-Out. I was like, do they have veggie?
We had to go to In-N-Out. It had to be done. We are at In-N-Out. First time I came to LA, my friend brought me here.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Hi, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What's animal fries? Is that vegetarian or no?
Yes, they are. It's just basically it's melted cheese on top with our signature spread and grilled onions.
Oh, cool. I'll get animal fries, please. Charlie, you're a British dude. What brings you back to LA?
Well, I'm an actor. Everyone sort of has to come here at some point and at least try and make it in the big city. Also, it's just really warm here. It's just really nice weather. It doesn't rain as much, although when it does rain, it smells really good.
Is LA worth the hype?
Like a lot of people say, it's really like laid back and really chill, but it's like so laid back and chill that it's sort of amazing that anyone gets anything done.
It's so anyone done. To me, I always feel this pressure of like 24/7 hustle here, like rise and grind.
Yeah, but it's very uncool to be like rise and grind. If you show excitement for something, that can be seen as quite uncool. If you're into Bitcoin, however, everyone wants to talk to you.
Bitcoin. The next morning I woke up and decided I needed to rant. After a few days of non-stop studio sessions, filming, parties and interviews, I started to feel really burnt out by LA. I am struggling today. I don't know what it is about it. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out about LA, but I think whatever way you're feeling about yourself, this city has a way of like making that feel bigger. I struggle a lot with imposter syndrome. I struggle a lot with putting pressure on myself to like be constantly productive and doing things, and I feel like that's something about LA that is kind of difficult. Feels like here there's always something more you could be doing. And I don't know if that's just my own mindset about it or if that's like the way it is here, but I kind of feel like this feeling of like not being good enough today. It's like a city full of life, but I think it can be it's quite easy to feel empty here, which is something I'm realizing. Yeah, that emptiness is like silence. It can be very loud. It's interesting, like you talk to people who live here and who don't see that, you know. They're like, yeah, but I'm in my 20s, that's what it's about grinding, like that's why I'm in LA. And then other people are like, yeah, I can't live like that, like that's not living. I think I'm kind of figuring out like where I want to be and what kind of mindset I want to be in, and the thing I struggle with is the feeling of like, oh, I should be hustling 24/7, I should be like being productive all the fucking time, like because I'm in my 20s and this is the time. Then at the same time I'm also like, I want to be happy, and that lifestyle doesn't make me happy. So it's hard because I feel like LA perpetuates that mindset, you know. It's also, there's so many highs and so many lows so quickly next to each other. Went to this crazy party, had the best time, and then you wake up the next day alone and you're like, whoa, I feel fucking lonely. And all those people I met at that party last night, I can't call them. They're not my friends, you know. It's weird. Weird.
I met up with my friend Kelsy Karter to find out how a fellow musician feels about life as a creative in LA. Kelsey's a proper rock star, and she had some really great advice to share with me.
I'm here with my friend Kelsy Karter at her home in LA. Kelsy is an amazing entertainer.
Thank you.
Entertainers love LA. What drew you?
So my family is actually from here. Even though I grew up predominantly in Australia, I spent a lot of my upbringing here as well. The allure of it was always like, oh my God, I'm half American and one day I'm gonna go over to America and become a star, you know? Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like always my plan when I was a kid. And then I did it.
Do you think that
the American dream applies to LA when people come here and they kind of come here looking for fame and they want to make it, whatever that means.
Everyone has stars in their eyes. They think this, like, you know, behind the curtain, it's going to be this magical dream. You have this image in your head and then you come here and at first it is exactly like you think. But when you're sitting in your home at night thinking, what do I actually have that brings value to my life? I think a lot of people realize that this is just a place and it's who you hang around and it's the roof you have over your head, and that's what really matters no matter where you are in the world, especially in this place, because this place can be so lonely and you can be in a room full of people that you know and you can still be so lonely, and that's what people I think aren't prepared for.
There's this pressure in LA to always be networking. There's this feeling of like every chat you have needs to be transactional.
Yeah.
That probably is, the result of a place like somewhere where people from the entertainment business flock to.
Yeah, but there are good people here. Like, there are good people with good intentions. Like, my best friends in the whole world, like, I met here.
Right.
And they're now my crew and my band. And, you know, I met my boyfriend here. Like, it's not all bad if you're smart and don't get too excited all the time.
Right, yeah. Has LA lived up to your expectations?
As a kid, it was literally my favorite place in the whole world. Like, oh my God, Daddy, when are we going back to LA? Like, I loved it so much. As you grow up and life happens to you, wherever that may be, like anything that's sparkly in you can dull down. There have been years where I've hated this place, and then years where it has given me my greatest memories. The people you have around you, that's what makes this experience good or bad. I mean, this industry can just get to your head no matter where you are. LA can be a little bit, what's the quickest way I can get famous? I think if you leave and come back, that's when you can get perspective and a level head. That's what makes me like this place, is that like I get to leave.
Right.
And then I leave and then I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get back to LA and like dive back into creative stuff. There's also this like weird camaraderie where it's like, oh, you're a weirdo too. You're a freak too. Even though we're competing, like we get each other. And that's something that I do like about LA. As musicians, LA is the place you have to be sometimes. So if you change your perspective on it, instead of like, oh, it's no one's real in LA and it's cheap and it's tacky and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or you can change it like, oh, I love going to LA and seeing all the crazy people and like I'm one of them and I get to create and be wild and free, and then I need to leave to get my footing again. Like if you think of it that way, this place can be great.
Why do you think people are obsessed with LA?
Most people don't live the life that they really dream of. And I think this place makes you feel like you can. Whether you follow through, whether you never come back, it gives you that little bit of like, oh wow, like sparkle to your world. LA is sparkly and fabulous, and we're enamored by movie stars and celebrities. This is the place where you might be able to feel like one or see one, and I think that's what people love.
What are you obsessed with about LA?
My people. I'm obsessed with my people. My dad said this thing to me. He left home at like 19 and traveled the world and lived in 50 different countries. And he said, no matter where you go, know who your people are and never let them go. They might be some here, some there, all in one place. He's like, but when you realize who they are, make all the effort in the world and do not let them go. My best mates in the world are here. So that's what I'm obsessed with.
Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Love ya.
Love you.
Next on the list of people to speak to was my friend Sedona, a Cali-born singer who just moved back to the West Coast from New York. Her house was dreamy, retro and sun-kissed, just like her.
I'm here with my friend Sedona, a singer, musician, songwriter extraordinaire. You are originally a Valley girl.
Yes.
And then you have lived in other places. You lived on the East Coast for a while. You're back here in LA.
Yeah.
How does LA feel to you? Like why did you move back, and what is it about this place?
LA is a open space compared to New York. And I think I was just craving that after 7 years in a bustling zone. So I came to California. I just wanted to get my music out here. Change of scenery. There's a bunch of friends out here whose music I love. I wanted to do more writing with them and just get back to my roots, I guess.
I think obviously LA attracts a lot of creatives. Why do you think it's this place that people decide, I'm gonna go there?
I feel like it's just the history attached to it. Hollywood and rock stars started in, pubs here or whatever. I think LA just has this cinematic charm that people come to see the spectacle of and try to get in on the action. And I'm definitely a part of that world in terms of like being a performer. I think that LA just has this magnetic pull for creatives because it gives you space to like really reflect. In New York, I was very distracted, and here I have almost too much time and silence, which for me is something I was looking for. My music has taken full form here. Thank you, California.
Cali album is in the works.
Yes,
That's so exciting. Fuck yeah. What are some things that you're obsessed with in LA or about LA?
Ooh. I'm obsessed with driving in my car and listening to music. I really am obsessed. Playing the piano, running to the rose garden by my house. I wish I did it more, but like I'm obsessed with the idea of me doing that every day, even though it doesn't happen every day.
The romanticized idea of that you do that every day.
Exactly. I'm just also obsessed with trying to be fully present, thinking about like what I'm wearing, like how it feels, what colors I'm seeing, and just like the right in this very second moment, which has been very helpful for my mental health. So it's hard, but yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're the cutest.
I hopped in an Uber to grab a coffee with Mothica, an alt indie pop queen from Oklahoma.
I'm here with my friend Mothica, an incredible artist extraordinaire.
Hey,
how's it going?
Thank you.
What is it about LA that made you want to come here?
The people here, the entertainment industry being here. It's definitely not the sunshine. I don't like the beach. I'm here solely because the amount of musicians.
Why is it, do you think, that people come here in general? I feel like a lot of people come here to try and like find themselves.
Yes. The entertainment industry has been here since whatever, the 40s, 30s. It's also such a big city, it's so spread out. One cool thing I do like is there's a lot of like free showcases. You can see like musicians all the time. It's just easy to like be in sessions all day, every day, I'm sure you know.
Do you feel creatively more inspired here?
You know, when I would like visit LA, I felt really creatively inspired because it was so different. The cool thing is there's a lot of like serendipitous moments that happen here. Like you'll like listen to an artist and they will be at the coffee shop you go to. 5 years ago I was at a show and Halsey was there and I met her. There's so many like little moments like that that happen that like make you want to stay here. I wish there was a great migration of all of LA to like Portland or Seattle where it's just like raining.
What are some things that you're obsessed with about LA?
Ooh, flea markets. Yeah, so vintage shopping is really good here. I think because I'm from Oklahoma, which is like the flattest, most middle America town of all time, I am obsessed with that we are close to nature.
Right.
Like you can go into the woods and see a large tree. Like that's new for me.
Yeah.
But there's some cool like tropical flowers and stuff. But yeah, no, the shopping here I think is great.
Thank you so much.
It's my last day in LA and I'm here at Swingers Diner in West Hollywood to interview the Aces and talk to them about why they decided to move to LA and what they're obsessed with in LA. So let's get it. Hi, I'm with my friends the Aces, a very rad band. I was about to be like radical band. A radical band. We're in Swingers Diner in West Hollywood, which is a special place for you guys, right?
We're from Utah. When we first started coming to LA and we first started working with our label, we were like absolutely starstruck by LA. Our A&R, who's like one of our best friends, his name's Kenny, he started just bringing us here, and then it became this spot that like after events or after like a crazy night out, it was just like everyone would call up and be like, see you at Swingers in 10 minutes. It was our place to like decompress.
Like we basically like lived here at a point for like on and off for a few months.
There's just like so much nostalgia around like our first like LA experiences here. The chaos of being like 19 and like being out of your hometown for the first time.
What made you make the move to make music here and just like be a band based in LA?
We didn't move to LA or really start coming to LA until after we signed, and then once our record label was out here, they started putting us in like lots of sessions with like producers and songwriters.
We really just started coming here for music and like turning our kind of dream of being musicians into a reality, and like LA just kind of went hand in hand with that. We ended up here all the time.
Like, do you like LA just as a place to live as well as obviously it being somewhere you kind of have to be for music?
We come from Utah, and it's like no one was doing what we were doing when we were kids. So it's a very different kind of environment, which I think can both be motivating in different ways. This is a really big city. There's a lot of people here, a lot of people doing what you're trying to do. So it can feel energizing in some ways, and I think it can also feel really comparison-driven in other ways, which can be a tricky balance. Especially being queer, and the three of us are queer, I think it's a really awesome space for like the queer community. There's a lot of camaraderie that way, and feels like really good that way too.
I used to think that you have to live in LA to do music, and I've actually realized that you really don't have to live here to be successful in music. A lot of massive, very successful musicians don't live here and never have. Why I personally have chosen to live in LA now. Coming from a place where being queer and being who I wasn't super normal or accepted or celebrated, it felt like I came to LA and found like a city that actually embraces that, and like I don't feel like a minority here, and that just feels really priceless to me. So I choose to live here because I feel like I actually belong here more than I do where I'm from.
The queer community here is really cool. Like there's so many cool spaces for queer women. What are some things that you are obsessed with in LA?
Oh my god, the thing about LA that we love so much, again, is just like the culture of it. I think like the coffee, the food, the queer spaces, you can do anything. There's just so many people here with so many like diverse interests and so many different types of people with different types of identities, and like that's what I love so much about LA, I think, is just that ability to like just be accepted and like see so much representation for so many different types of people. That's my favorite thing about LA for sure, and that's what keeps me here. We could, I guess, technically move around or go anywhere, but there is something really special about that here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking to me. Incredible. I didn't arrive in LA in the best of headspaces, and it's been interesting to like figure out how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling in a place that's so massive and expansive and can be quite isolating but also be really exciting. I think something that has been really eye-opening, having so many conversations with different people who LA means different things to. It's made me realize like this place, yes, it's big and scary and can be kind of isolating sometimes, and there's so many people here trying to make it and trying to seek attention, which can be like kind of overwhelming and competitive, but then it can also be really inspiring, and the expansiveness and the openness of it can actually make you feel bigger. I'm from London. London is such a built up city. You can get everywhere on foot, you know, you can be independent. Things like that I think make LA this place that can be quite difficult to adjust to when you first come here. I definitely on this trip have felt a bit like a fish out of water. I'm starting to feel like I could live here. I could do this. Like I could find out who I am here. I could get my car. I could do my hustling. I could make my music. I could find my people. I think that's really what it's all about. It's like if you can find your people, doesn't matter where you are in the world, regardless of where you are, you're always gonna find yourself. The world will present you with challenges that will help you to figure that out. I'd say LA is a challenging place. It's also a place where dreams can come true, and a place where dreams are chased. And I think where there's people chasing dreams, that's exciting. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me on my journey. See you in the next place. LA, I'm obsessed.